the writer wants us to be on the same page as it relates to God's blessings and God's word. Good morning. We've looked at a Canaan, a Sabbath, but the chapter talks about rest. We talk about stuff, what you can do on the day. The writer is not concerned with on the day. The writer is trying to teach us how to enter the rest. Now, the Bible says first natural. So now watch this. When you come home from work, most of us take off or something. Now watch this. Did the rest start there? Okay. And it varies from men and women. For most women, you come home, you didn't make sure the kids got something to eat, this got something to eat, okay. You didn't change, you got something more comfortable. Did the rest start then?
No.
Well, let's just cut to it. When does the rest start? Okay, I got it when you sit down.
When there's nothing else to do.
What? Now listen, you're looking but you ain't listening. Now this man said when you sit down is when the rest starts. She said when there's nothing else left to do is when the rest starts. Come on. Somebody said when you get all the way in the bed, you're looking but you ain't listening. When you get in the bed is when the rest starts. Who else? Come on. Come on.
When you walk in the house, when the rest starts.
She said when you walk in the house, the rest started.
Depends on if you have to cook, if you have to wash the dishes, or you have to wash your
I don't care
clothes.
about what it depends on. When does the rest start for you? Huh? All right. Here go another one. You finish all your work. I got two.
That's housework that you have to do.
I got three with that. Come on. All right. I got two bed. Three when you finish all your work. Who else? I got one sit down. When does the rest start?
I just got on what you said, isn't it?
And see, watch this. All of those are good answers. You just won't press your answer. Because you can sit down in your body and stand up in your mind.
You right?
You can finish natural work, but your mind won't rest.
Yeah.
You can lay down naturally, but your spirit ain't at rest. You hear what I'm saying? So see, while you have come to a place
A rest.
of rest, you don't have
Rest.
complete rest because you stop right there. Because for most of us, rest is all of what y'all said
And some.
and then some. Because even after you sit down, can you make your mind relax?
Yeah.
Come on.
It's amazing because I misheard what you said, and we saying the same thing. When you said I thought you were saying when does the rest of it start? I said when I walk through the door, you think it's going to be over, but it's not. When you walk through the door, it's still more. And even when you lay down, it's like you say, it's still more. It's still going.
Because it don't matter whether it's a regular day or it's a Sabbath day.
That's right.
You laid down last night, and while your body was relaxing,
Mine.
could you keep your mind out of what you got to do next week?
No.
No.
So see, your mind is steady,
Going.
which means it's working.
It's working. It's not ready.
Oh man, I got to do this report. I got to do this bill to do next week. Well, I got to do this. Oh my God, I told the kids I'm going to go. This project got to be done. I ain't even got the supplies yet. Now your body's relaxing, but your mind.
Yeah.
So watch this. Watch this. We read Amplified Classic. It says something about a full and
Complete.
rest, which lets us know. See, we've approached God's rest with a degree of perspective. Watch this. Watch this. So again, so that we're clear in chapter 4. Now, and then you know, it's like classic. Verses 1, 2, and 3 talk about a rest. What kind?
Rest.
We still got to win and rest.
What kind?
Canaan.
Verses 1, 2, and 3 of chapter 4 speak of what kind?
Canaan rest.
How do you know?
Because we're talking about what they did. How they was. What they was.
And verse 3 is a reference to chapter 3:19. They will not enter my rest. Who will not enter his rest?
Israelites.
Israel.
And so what rest did they miss?
The Canaan
The
rest.
Canaan rest.
Now, what rest were they involved in? We know that because they learned about that rest where?
In the wilderness.
Fresh out of Egypt. When he rained down the manna, hey, get what you need today. You save it over tomorrow, it's going to breed worms and stink.
Right.
What was the first lesson they got about food?
You don't
He's going to provide.
Don't get a
Get
lot.
just enough.
Get just enough for
He's
the
going to
day.
provide it.
The food lesson came
On the sixth day.
because he told them
Together.
on that day, gather.
More.
Why?
Because on the next day,
Next
it's not
day
going to
be
be there.
there.
I don't rain on the Sabbath. And I'm going to show you the specialness of the Sabbath. What bread, worms, and stank any other day won't do it on the,
Sixth day.
because it's connected to the.
7th day.
So now gather twice as much today and leave it out, no refrigeration. It will not spoil because I ain't raining none down tomorrow. So he was teaching them not about food preservation, but
Sabbath.
the Sabbath. Watch this. So verses 1, 2, they'd already engaged in the Sabbath rest of God, even though they vexed God on the Sabbath rest, because he said don't go out. And the Bible said on the 7th day,
They went out
They went out looking for it.
together.
which means you didn't
Get enough on the
Get enough
6th.
on the sixth.
you didn't rest.
Yeah, they ain't rest.
Hey man, don't go out looking for nothing. Stay at home, Britt.
Relax.
Relax.
But they got dressed and
Went out.
Went looking for it.
watch this. Verse 4 of chapter 4 speaks of what type of rest.
Sabbath.
How you know?
They said God rested.
He rested from their
See that?
works.
Only when you speak of the 7th day are we clear about God's. And we say Sabbath, but we know it to be.
God's rest.
He talks about God's rest. Now watch this. Verse 5, what rest are we talking about? How you know?
So they forfeited their part in it.
All right? 1, 2, 3 is the Canaan rest. 4 is the Sabbath rest. 5 is Canaan rest. Verse 6. You there?
Yes. Canaan.
Canaan.
Verse 7.
It's a new one.
Now, here's why context is so important. Now, what's in verse 7 that throws you off in terms of what rest we're talking about?
Once again.
It says indefinite.
Look at the back end of 7. If you will hear his voice, what?
Harden not your heart.
When we first learned what that meant, it went with what?
Canaan.
It went with the Canaan rest. But verse 7 is talking about what kind of rest?
Different rest. A definite day rest.
Now, again, he says a definite day, a new today, which meant it'd be the difference of somebody told you something 5 years ago and you didn't get it. Okay,
Right.
I'm gonna tell you again today. That's what we're talking about. And gives another opportunity of securing that rest. Now go to verse 8. That's why context is so important. Now 8 tells you what 7 was talking about. What are we talking about? What kind of rest was in verse 7?
Okay.
Then you ain't reading the verse. Look at it.
It's not a Canaan.
Verse 8. This mention of
Rest
rest.
was not a reference to
Oh,
another entry
yeah,
into
Canaan.
Canaan.
Okay.
So if it ain't a reference to them in the Canaan, what else is left?
Sabbath.
Because up to this point, we've only talked about
2.
types of rest. And then let's look at the rest of the verse. I told you, and Amplify says for Joshua, because the Greek and the Hebrew for Joshua and Jesus is the exact same word. That's why in some versions it says if Jesus had given them rest, and in Amplify Classic it says if Joshua had given them rest. He, God, would not speak afterward about what?
Another day.
So verse 8, we're clearly talking about the...
Sabbath.
So now, when you look at verse 7, we're not talking about Canaan. We're talking about when you're witnessing the people and this becomes an issue. When you hear his voice. Oh my God. Mike, the Sabbath call is not to everybody and it is not for everybody.
Right.
Oh my God. So God is prejudiced.
No.
That messed you up, didn't it? Watch this. Was Canaan for all of Israel?
It was.
It was.
How come all of Israel didn't get it?
Because they let people return.
They hard, they hard.
Yeah.
Of those who left Egypt, 20 and up, why did they miss it?
The report of others. Fear.
Now, unbelief is the result of what?
Hard, hard.
And what do we learn about a hard heart?
They can't accept it.
A hard heart is the result of 2 parts. You got to put the piece together. They had stopped,
Hear what God had to say.
and if I don't hear God, I don't have to
Do what he said.
do what he says. That's what produces a hard heart. So the greater blessings of God are for people that can hear God.
Right.
So when you wonder why you have or don't have, it has nothing to do with can God deliver or not, can you hear?
That's right.
And the reason why we need to hear is because everything God gives us may not necessarily be for us. Oh.
Yes.
See, when you can't hear God, you will believe that everything that is given to you is
For you.
not all the time. Sometimes folk will give you stuff and you look at this and go, I don't need this.
All right.
I don't even
Want it.
want it. Why you giving it to me? Just hold it. And if you just be
Obedient.
and let the person bless you with it, and you hold it
Somebody.
as long
As you can hear God.
as you can hear God in just a little while.
Somebody
Going to who it
don't come.
belongs.
God gonna tell you that thing that you were blessed with,
Yeah.
that you didn't really need, and you really didn't.
Somebody else.
Yep.
Here it comes. Brother so-and-so, sister so-and-so, need that very thing. And what meant nothing to,
You. means
it's
a
gonna
lot.
mean
Everything to them.
to them.
Right.
And while you turned your nose up and act so funny about it, when you put in a position to bless them, oh my God, you don't know how long I've been needing this. You don't know how long I've been waiting on God to deliver this. And now they so excited about something you turned your nose up at. But the transaction will never take place if you can't.
Hear God.
Folk have tried to put money in your hand and offer you stuff, and we shoot them down. I'm good. I'm good. You know why he said you good? Because you can't hear God. See, when you hear God, you realize, hey, I don't need this. Well, maybe this ain't
For me.
for me. Come on.
Pastor, this morning, as she's speaking at this morning, the lady from Dollar General called me and said, can you come to the store for perhaps a dollar store? And I went to the store and her and the guy was bringing all of this stuff and loaded the Jeep up with all of this stuff. And I'm like, what? She's saying that, but I was asking, Lord, what am I going to do with all this Christmas stuff and Christmas? It's all kinds of Christmas stuff and Christmas toys and different stuff and these, all of these, a whole box full of phones with this, the flip phones and stuff. I go, well, what am I gonna do with it? But you saying that, that's why Jamie hit me, because I was telling Jamie, what am I gonna do with all of this stuff? But it's a blessing, but I didn't know where the Lord gave me all of that stuff from.
See, and we need the music, the drums. We want to praise the Lord. We want to shout because how could I have possibly known that happened to them this morning?
Right.
And see, we think when we teach, when we preach, we think we just have the ability to just randomly know what's going on with folk. Man, we ain't that good.
Yes,
That's
Lord.
right.
But God is.
Amen.
God.
Watch this. Watch this. So verse 7 is about what rest?
Sabbath.
I need you to say it with more confidence, like you really know. And what I want you to learn is, see, when you're confused in one verse, don't stop.
There.
What?
Read the next one.
Keep reading.
That's what's wrong with most folks' approach to the Sabbath.
Yeah. One scripture.
We read one or two verses and
We locked it in.
stop
Yeah, that's it.
right there as if that was.
That was the end. That's the end of it.
Watch this. Watch this. Tim, did your parents go to school? How far?
I think my dad is to the page. I don't know shit how far
Okay, he went to, but you know he went to 8th grade. Did you go to school? How far did you go?
I graduated
From what?
high school.
Why didn't you stop at the 8th grade?
So it's more to do.
But your dad didn't go past the 8th grade.
He wanted something better for me. In order to get what I need to get, because he had to. So I, at that point, he was in a position where he didn't have to. I didn't have to, so I could continue going.
You're looking, but you ain't listening. They both entered.
School.
Watch this. But now, for all we know of the story, 8th grade may not have been where he wanted to.
Stop.
That just may have been where he was forced to.
Stop.
That was just as far as he could go.
Yeah.
But what the daddy realized is, what was my limitation? Oh God.
Don't have to be my kids'
Ain't no people
invitation.
my kids.
Don't have to be yours.
Right.
Right.
Now he doing in life what his daddy did in life.
Right.
He plummeted, but what his daddy understood was, it don't matter, son. Just because this was my stopping point in life.
Don't be your
See yours.
Don't let it be your stopping point in life. You looking, but you ain't listening. Y'all, it's a wonderful thing to know, oh wow, the Sabbath. This is not Sunday. This is God's day of worship. Wow, that's an exciting thing. But now 5 years later, we still can't be celebrating that this is as far as we done got. Y'all ain't saying that. Just like it was exciting when you learned about God's Sabbath, guess what?
Keep
Yeah,
on.
keep going.
You need to see God standing in the doorway of a tunnel, and you all the way on the other end talking about, woo! And God's saying,
Gotta
Come on.
come. Gotta get closer.
yeah, you just took 2 or 3 steps every 5 years. Woo! And God's talking about,
Come on, son.
yeah, because while you're, and every time you advance in God, it ought to be an exciting thing.
Yeah.
Because you realize you are somewhere now in God
You ain't never been.
I ain't never been. The friends change, the landscape changes, the blessings change, and the challenges do too.
That's right. Damn good.
Yeah, yeah. For every level, there are greater blessings and different devils.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, get that point. But the reality is, yeah, God is steady saying, hey man,
Come on.
Come on.
yeah. So when you read in Revelation, we used to a tree bearing the same kind of fruit. God says, man, when you get where I'm trying to get you to go, I got a tree that bears fruit and it changes from month to month.
Wow.
Come on.
What kind of tree changes fruit, man? The
God's
kind
tree.
God made.
God's tree.
Now, if a tree can change fruit, he said, hey, you ain't eat leaves.
Right?
He said, man, I didn't put medicine in the leaves.
Yeah,
Yes.
come on.
You missing God. Which means it's some stuff, okay, I ain't gonna heal. The leaves got to do it.
Yeah,
Right.
You died sick, you rose from the dead sick.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be tripping and talking about how in the world did I make heaven? I had this sickness in the earth, I still got it. God said, cuz, get to the leaves, baby.
That's right.
It's in Revelation, there's healing. Y'all ain't hear what I'm saying?
Come on.
If he done took away all of the healing, why is it healing in these leaves?
Wow.
You missing God. That would be a waste of leaf.
Yes.
Maybe you get on your drive home. Verse 7 is the Sabbath. Verse 8 rest is the,
Sabbath as well.
you taking too long. Because 7 and 8,
We go together.
watch this, and so does 9. I like the classic. Mike, look at it. So then, we can't talk about 9 unless
Get the
7 and 8 is settled in you. So then, watch this. There is what?
Still awaiting.
Now watch how it explains this. A what?
A full and complete Sabbath.
Now run and tell that. Because what most of us celebrate is not a full and complete Sabbath.
That is true.
For 7 years I worked for Jerry Jones. I worked at his house. And the first 6 months I worked there, I never went in the house. I had no reason to go in there. They had a party. And they had these big old tables. And so, of course, you know, anybody finna struggle with tables. Well, we have hired help.
Yeah, they ain't struggling no day.
So I'm rolling the tables down into the basement. So, of course, at this point, I'm going in. Jerry Jones coming out. Hey, you're the new guy. I'm one of them. When you start working? 6 months. 6 months! You been in 6 months? This is my first time seeing you? Obviously.
Yeah.
It's a shocker. I saw him almost every day after that. After a while, they give you keys to the house. So when they would go out of town, you gave me keys to the house. Price?
Come right now, this.
Okay, but it's not, I don't work there no more. Jamie, I was all over that house. I'm talking about upstairs now. Man, I was in the basement, up in the attic. I worked there.
We get it.
I was in his closet. I was in his closet,
But
my
you said
closet. Man, I was all over that house. And here's the point I want you to get. What you thought was walls in certain places of the house wasn't a wall. It was a door.
Uh-oh.
They not only had panic rooms in the house, they had escape tunnels within the house. But just looking, Rosa, you wouldn't know it, what you were looking at. It was enough stuff to captivate your attention in the house, but you had to look past the stuff, man.
Come on now. Amen. Come on.
Right, right.
And my point is, most people will come, get invited, and think what they saw was all to the house.
Yeah. Come on.
Not knowing, man, there's so much more to the house that you didn't even.
Know about.
It was stuff in the ceiling, y'all, that if you hit a button, the wall would move and screens would drop out of the ceiling. It was TVs behind cabinets. I mean, it was just stuff everywhere. That, I know that I look. You know what? And why y'all talking about the camera rolling? How was I able to do it?
He gave me the keys.
Yes,
Gave
sir.
me the keys, sir.
See, you told me I could when you.
Gave me the keys.
Y'all ain't saying nothing. So say when I needed to go somewhere, Mike, I drove
That car.
Their cars because you gave me the keys to them. I done brought up my gas.
Which house was this?
I need you missing all of this. God says, behold, I've given you the
Kingdom.
the way stand on one of us behind the door.
Right.
Go in there. Get in there.
There you go.
It's stuff behind the door that not only will bless you,
And other people too.
it'll bless y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But certain doors, God will have you stand looking crazy because you still got a selfish spirit on you.
Come on now.
Come on.
See, as long as life is just about you, me and my,
Yeah.
in certain places God won't even let you see.
Right.
Oh my God, can I prove it to you? Elisha is out here minding his business and the servant goes out to get something. Oh my God, we surrounded. We finna die! Oh Lord.
Lord, open his eyes.
The prophet prayed a simple prayer. Lord,
Open his
do
eyes.
something to his eyes so he can cut all his foolishness. The Bible says at the request of the prophet, God,
Open his
Open his
eyes.
eyes.
watch this. Now, did the help just come in?
No, it's
No, the help
already
been
there.
there.
Newsflash, guess what?
It
It's
was
been
already
there.
there.
Watch this. See, when you know what God has made available,
Yeah.
you not only live differently, Elisha was in rest,
Oh yeah. You had to worry about it.
surrounded by the enemy.
Wow. Jesus.
When you know what is available to you, in a peaceful time, Jesus said, hey, let's go to the side. In the middle of going to the other side, a storm break out.
Yeah.
Why did the disciples wake Jesus? Because they were convinced.
They about to
That was
die.
it, man.
What kind of storm you got to be in to shake a fisherman?
Pretty serious. We're
Yeah.
used to that.
No, it ain't serious, Jesus. No, get up because we're finna die.
Yeah.
Be out there.
We're finna die! Don't you care we're finna die? Why was Jesus not concerned?
He was rest.
Because he was resting.
Watch this. He was in a type of rest that he started in a peaceful time,
Yeah.
and yet his outer surroundings moved him from a peaceful time to a storm time,
Yeah.
but he was able to sleep because the storm could not disturb his rest.
Come on now.
All right.
Come on.
You're missing all of this. Mother Deborah, because Jesus was not at rest, he was within rest.
Yes. That's good.
The storm did not bother him, Mike, because it could not get to where he was.
Yes. Come on.
Anybody that's ever flown, those storms have limitations.
Yes, they do. Yeah, they do.
Storms rain down, Tim. They don't rain up.
Yeah.
And so if you ever flown in a storm, the pilot just keep going, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. Because he knows there's an altitude storms can't go.
Come on.
Right.
Woo! Good God Almighty.
Say that.
See, we want to cry and complain because we in a storm and God do something about the storm, do something about the storm. I done something about the storm. I've given you the ability to just go higher. Not in the storm, go higher in.
Me.
Yeah.
If you would just get up in me,
Yeah.
you'll learn that I'm not only at the base of the storm and at the height of the storm, within me can make you go.
Above the storm.
Right.
There remaineth.
The complete.
It don't matter what you believe. He says there remains, they're still awaiting a full and complete Sabbath rest. Watch this, reserved for everybody.
No.
For the
True
true
people of God.
You see that? Now God ain't funny and prejudiced, but he knows what he's offering.
Yeah.
Everybody can't
Everybody.
get it.
Everybody don't want it. And he ain't mad.
Right.
You ever cook something that you like and put on the table and everybody else eat it?
Yep.
You know what you said?
You don't have to. I will.
More for me.
Yeah.
When it's something you
When you like,
ain't mad at nobody eat it. Oh, thank God.
I got leftovers.
Hey, you ain't made nobody at this table mad. More for me. Yes. Watch this. Here we go. Verse 10.
For he who has one.
I just want you to understand, as we read 10 and 11 now, we run a convertible. Up to verse 9, just so that you know. When we read verse 10, God will let the top down. Do the best you can with the air. For he what?
For he who once entered God's rest also has ceased from the weariness and pain of human labors, just as God rested from those labors, peculiarly his own.
Because I don't have time to wait on you, Keisha. There are two rests in verse 10.
Sabbath in the heavenly rest.
Watch this, Justice. For he who has once entered God's rest also has
Cease from the weariness and pain of human labors.
The verse teaches you that man has a Sabbath rest.
Come on. And God has one.
That means nothing until it enters God's rest.
Okay. I just keep one in my back pocket.
Thank you, Jesus.
Keep talking, keep talking.
See, we got our own idea of what a Sabbath rest is.
Yeah.
And God said, roll with all of that. Now, when you get through with all of that, what you believe your Sabbath rest is, now bring that into my rest.
Come on.
See, and the reason why some of us can't enter into God's rest is because we have not ceased from our own human labor.
Weariness, pain.
See, you haven't ceased from your own human labors when all we talk about is what you do on the Sabbath and not what we are able to do within the Sabbath.
Come on. Amen.
See, if all your focus is on the Sabbath, you're still working. And if you're still working and you haven't ceased from human labor, guess what? You can't handle my rest. Because my rest is not a place of work.
Come on.
It's called rest for a reason. And if you still got work on your mind, work in your spirit, work in your heart, God says, stay on your Sabbath. You ain't ready for mine.
Wow.
Look at it again. For he who has once entered, before you get to God's rest, look at it. It says, also has what?
Cease.
What they need to hear on that word?
Passing.
He said, before you come to mine, have you stopped in yours?
Right.
Wow. Whatever your understanding of your Sabbath is, have you stopped? Because watch this is what people say.
Uh-oh.
When you start talking about the Sabbath, it's Saturday. Well, mine is Sunday.
That's your fact.
Fine.
Uh-oh.
Have you ceased
Uh-oh.
on yours?
Can of worms.
See how you look now? See, yeah, your Sabbath is a Tuesday. Fine. Have you ceased on your Tuesday?
Yeah.
See, you're looking, but you ain't listening.
Come on.
And you know they haven't. And so what becomes clear is God's saying, listen, you're not ready. You can't deal with my rest because you haven't stopped within your own rest. Watch this. You got friends and you know folk who they work 800 hours a day. Every time you see them, they just
Work.
going. And what you know is, hey dude, hey chick,
You need to
if you
stop.
don't
Slow down.
and get
Yeah.
sooner or later,
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't.
you're gonna fall out.
Yeah.
And that's your body telling you,
Yeah. You need rest.
yeah. And you just keep on driving yourself like that, your body will give you Michael
Rest.
Jackson rest.
Yeah.
Watch this. So in verse 10, the two rest is man's rest and
God's
God's
rest.
rest.
Sabbath rest. For he who has once entered God's rest also has ceased from the weariness and pain of human labors. you have to come to a conclusion. You're not going to just keep driving me.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not going to keep driving myself.
Right.
Attempting to accomplish something in 7 days, what God said can only be accomplished in 6 days.
Yeah.
I don't care how much money they offer on the 7th day. You still can't buy it.
Right.
If you work this day, we'll pay you triple time. And when you get that triple on your check, your lifestyle is going to still outpass the check. Which is going to make you have to do it again. And do it again. Until you get that cemetery rest. For he who has once entered God's rest, the Sabbath rest, also has ceased from the weariness and pain of human labors, just
As God rested for those labors.
it's a lot he could have done.
Yeah. Sure could have.
Past 6 days. But God said, I made sure I did all I was going to do.
In 6.
See.
Yeah.
And I'm God.
I can do everything.
So you best believe, in terms of the life that we live, there is absolutely nothing that can't be accomplished
In 6 days.
to the full.
Yeah.
And I ain't talking about you got to run over extra toy. God says it's enough time in 6 days that you have way more than enough to get everything done that you want to get done. So that when his time approaches, guess what? And there's no distraction because, hey man, I did absolutely.
All I can.
So verse 7, 8, 9 talk about the 7-day Sabbath. Verse 10 talks about 2 rests. Man's Sabbath rest, God's Sabbath rest. But our Sabbath rest must go within his rest. But we can't get within his rest until we cease from our own. That's why people can't enjoy it even today. Child, I'm just trying to work to get it right. Even today. You haven't ceased? Jenny, I'm just trying to work to be a better man. Today? You're still working today. That means you haven't ceased. When's the ever time I'm just trying to be a better prayer warrior? You working on that today? It ain't ceased. You're missing God. God is saying, I don't care whether you were successful or you failed. When you reach me, cut all that out. God, I have failed you every day this week. You sure did. Rest in me.
Come on now.
See, you can't rest in God and be consumed with all your failures. Anybody hear what I'm saying? You can't rest in God knowing I done let you down every day this week. You won't even rest your eyes. You won't stop crying over what has happened. And God is saying, will you just rest?
Yeah. In me.
Watch this. Look at verse 11. Oh my God, y'all take so long.
Let us therefore be zealous and exert ourselves and strive diligently to enter that rest of God, to know and experience it for ourselves, that no one may fall or perish by the same kind of unbelief and disobedience into which those in the wilderness fell.
What is that rest in verse 11?
One thing that you haven't.
That's getting ready.
Yeah, that's going to
It's going down.
It's the heaven rest. Because we want to make it into
Shut
heaven.
down.
I believe in God's rest.
What should have been settled in verse 10?
You're resting in God. Ceasing from your
labors.
You rest in Him.
Right.
And if you've fully gotten it, then as a result,
You can enter
You're-
in.
you're enjoying a full and
Complete
Complete.
rest.
But verse 11 says, let us therefore. Now, what is the therefore, therefore?
You make sure you understood what you just got
Just
through read about.
So if that rest is settled in you,
Now this one.
now come to this rest.
Yeah.
Who passes a grade in school and turns right around and repeats that grade?
No one.
You not only don't do it, the school won't,
Let you
Let
do
you
it.
do it.
because it would be a
Waste
a waste.
Of
of
time.
time.
You've already.
Done it. So if you already
Therefore, you are eligible
for the next
next
for the
grade.
next grade. Watch this. When Israel learned of the 7-day Sabbath rest, that was exciting because nobody else in the world had it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Watch this. But Canaan was just for the Jew.
Come on.
So that rest was predicated on those who had experienced.
Yeah. The 7.
7 days.
But how many know Canaan was a different
Yeah. Rest.
type of rest?
Yeah.
It was a magnified rest of the Sabbath.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on.
Come on.
That's one.
And so all God is doing is
Elevating.
Glory.
well now, even in Canaan, you couldn't live
Restful. Peaceful.
forever. So if I die, is Canaan the
Complete one?
end?
No.
Not in.
Not in
God.
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 Watch this. Page, and even after the judgment, and those of us who make heaven, you think you done trump God.
No.
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 All he says to you in his word is like this. When you get where I am, eyes,
Have
Have not seen.
ears,
Have not heard.
watch this, neither.
Has it entered to the mind of man.
God says in your wildest
Imagination.
dreams. And some of us, we won't talk about it, but some of us can really dream.
Yeah.
You don't believe you can live it, but we can dream. But God said, in your wildest dreams,
Can't compare.
Tell you even what I prepared
you
for
can't
you.
come, you ain't even close to where I am. The things that God has prepared. One of the Greek word picture for prepared is Mike, in store. The stuff in storage is not what's on display. There's plenty in the store.
Yeah.
But just in case you think you're in a position to buy out the store,
Right.
Stock room.
I got some more stuff.
people go in there and get distressed. Oh man, y'all out? Oh no.
You
Got
got
more
it
in
locked
stock
up,
room.
son. You got it locked up.
And it's just a little exchange. Somebody goes behind the scenes
Yeah.
Get it.
to replenish what you thought the store had.
Ran out of.
You looking, but you ain't listening. God says, I have stuff past your wildest dreams, and what you don't know is I don't never.
Run out.
Run out, sir.
Watch this, y'all pass the time. What is the book of Hebrews about?
The law.
Talks to the Hebrews about the laws and everything, and foreseeing.
And Christ is greater.
That ain't he.
Christ is greater.
I don't care what you're talking about. The focus of the entire book is Christ is greater. So, because we're out of time, when you get through talking about a Sabbath rest and a Canaan rest and a heaven rest, Christ
It's better than all that.
is greater than all three rests. Because in Matthew 11, he says, come unto me
All you who love.
that labor
Yes, he is.
and are heavy laden.
Heavy laden.
Y'all working hard. He says, if you come to me,
Yeah.
I'll give you.
rest.
I wish you look up rest in the Greek, and it'll show you, Mike, the rest that Christ is offering is not the same as these three rests in Hebrews. I told you, convertible topics now, do the best you can. Father, we thank you and we praise you for your word. More